Welcome back, friends. So good to have you join me. I am so excited for what we have to talk about today. It's gonna be a great topic, but hey, my name is Anthony, and today I wanna talk to you all about, wait, what's happening here? This isn't right. What's wrong with the screen? Hello?
Hey, bro.
Tristan, what are you doing here?
I mean, I heard you're doing a digital short, and I heard about what the topic was, so I thought I'd step in, say a few words, maybe call it a Tristan takeover.
A Tristan takeover?
Yeah.
I mean, we can't do that, but okay, I have another idea. Because of our shared heritage, what if we called it Habits Egyptian Takeover Edition?
Egyptian takeover. I mean, if you want to call that, I mean, I know I look Egyptian. I don't know what about you.
Are you kidding me? Look at my caramel colored skin. What are you talking about? Or the fact that my beard grows faster than the speed of light. I shaved this morning, by the way, but dude, like, come on, I definitely look Egyptian. We're basically cousins is what we look like.
I mean, we are Egyptian, but maybe they were expecting someone who looks more like this.
Like that guy? Are you serious?
I mean, I don't know. But anyways, let's just get into today's lesson. I don't think we look like cousins. Maybe they can let us know in the comments. I hope not. But anyways, we're going to play a game. To start today's lesson, we're going to play a game. And it's actually a game that you guys can play along with down in the comments. And it's going to be called The Favorite Game.
The favorite game? I've never heard of it. How do you play it?
You never heard of The Favorite Game?
No.
Well, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's in the name. But basically, I'm going to name different categories. And then you just say the first thing that comes to your mind, something that's like your favorite of that category. So if I say sports, maybe you say your favorite sport.
Okay. Oh, that seems easy enough. It doesn't sound too bad. But you're not tricking me, right?
I mean, we'll see, but no, I don't think there's going to be any tricks.
All right, no
today.
tricks, no
This
tricks.
guys, this is a serious lesson today, no tricks. Okay, so, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Are you ready?
I've been ready. Okay, so let's start off easy.
Okay.
Favorite movie or TV show?
Oh, dude, so easy. It's The Chosen. Dude, I
even
have
finish.
to tell you about this show. It is the best show I have ever seen. Okay, it tells the story of Jesus, but from the perspective of people around him, like Peter or Matthew or Mary Magdalene. It's actually the best show I've ever seen, dude, and it's completely free.
It's The Chosen.
The Chosen.
I mean, that sounds
Guys,
pretty good.
watch it at home with your families. The Chosen, it is so good. You will not regret it.
Not sponsored, but I mean, I thought your favorite movie would be something like Prince of Egypt, but I mean, anyway.
I thought you said no tricks.
That wasn't a trick. Okay, anyways. Make sure you guys let us know your favorite TV show or movie in the comments. Anthony will reply to every comment, right?
I will try.
You will.
I will try.
Okay. All right, ready for the next one?
Okay, I'm ready for the next one. Let's go, go, go.
Relax. Okay, favorite food on 3?
All right, on 3.
1,
Okay.
2,
Okay.
3, sushi.
Molokhia.
Wait, what did you say?
I said molokhia. Dude, this is how I know I am the real Egyptian. My favorite food is molokhia, bro. Friends out there, you've probably never heard of that. It's essentially these green leaves from a plant called Corchorus olatorius. Corchorus olatorius. And you put them into the soup with garlic, and you have some chicken and rice with it. It's absolutely delicious.
Wait, what was it called?
It's called Corchorus olatorius.
Right. Well, whatever that is, I'm sure it's delicious. But anyways, enough of your eating habits. Let's just get into today's main topic, which is going to be habits. Anthony, habits, do you know what those are?
Of course, habits are routine behaviors that we do a lot. They're everyday kind of things.
That's right. And one of the habits that we love doing is actually talking about our favorite things or our favorite people. For example, Anthony, from what I've heard, your favorite basketball player is LeBron James. I mean, you even have a poster up on the wall.
Yeah, dude, I think
LeBron James
is the greatest basketball player of all time. If you want to win, get him on your team and he will carry you. In my opinion, at least. He is the best. And you're right, I do have a habit of talking about him a lot, as many of my friends would agree.
Yeah, I've heard, but clearly you never heard of someone called Michael Jordan.
I have.
But anyway, we're not going to get into that, or Anthony will be here for 2 hours if we get into that. But the same way goes for you guys watching. You guys have your favorite things you like to talk about too. It could be a show or a video game. Maybe it's like a random hobby or interest. For example, when I was a kid, I really liked dinosaurs. And I loved talking about it. I had little action figures and everything. And that was one of my favorite things.
Yeah, Tristan, that's really cool, bro. And that's a great point you're making. I think some of the reasons why we like talking about some of the things we love so much is because we want other people to experience the same positive experiences that we experience, right?
That's true, yeah.
We love things and we want other people to love them too. I mean, those things that we love so much, they can be things like dancing or drawing or painting or sports or even watching YouTube. I mean, hey, and let's stop for a second right there. Guys, click and like that video, right?
Yeah, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Listen, if we can get this video to 100 likes, just 100, you agree with 100?
100, okay, 100.
Anthony will not
Wait.
shave.
What?
Anthony will not shave for 2 months.
For 2 months?
And this isn't just some regular.
Oh
I haven't shaved in 2 months, and this is nothing. But Anthony, he
I
claims
would
he's
grow a
Egyptian.
big beard, guys.
He will have like a big beard. So if we can get this video to 100 likes, we'll do our best. But Anthony will not shave for 2 months. But anyways, continue. What were you saying?
Okay. All right, I agree. But anyway, going back to this. So for some of these things that we love so much, we have an interest in them because we like them. So we share about them with other people and we tell them how awesome they are. Like I just did with The Chosen, right? Which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, you did go on about the joke.
I did.
But yeah, it's true, and I do the same thing. And here's what we want to talk about today. In the same way we talk about things we like because we want other people to experience those same positive feelings, talking about God can very much be the same. In fact, regularly sharing about God can help grow our faith into an everyday kind of faith. Now, I know for you guys, you're all in different places. Some of you are watching this video because you stumbled upon it. Some of you, your parents encourage you to watch it. Maybe some of you are looking forward to it every week and already hit that like button. So, I mean, wherever you're at, here's what I want to tell you. The more we talk about God and the truth about who he is and his loving, amazing character, right? The more we'll get to know him. And to add on to that, the more we'll want others to know him too, because we'll grow to understand how much God loves us. And in turn, we will want other people to know how much God loves them too. So then we'll talk about him.
Wow. Dude, that is a great point, Tristan. And here's the truth kind of to add on to that. For many of us, talking about God or our Christian faith, it can be scary sometimes. And I know it can certainly be like that for me. And, maybe for some of us, we're afraid to talk about God because we don't really know how to explain what we think. It's kind of hard to put into words sometimes. We're not exactly sure where to start or how to answer some questions that people might ask. We feel like we don't know enough big words or, Bible verses or points about Christianity to even start with. We talk about God, but maybe, we're not even sure what words we should really use.
Exactly.
Or maybe we're even afraid it'll be a little awkward, all right? I mean, the world does try to convince us that it's awkward, that these are things you shouldn't talk about. And nobody likes being stuck in that awkward moment. But today, we're going to tell you why all of those reasons are not reasons why we shouldn't talk about our faith. In fact, we really should talk about our faith. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and those are all possibly true. I mean, I have some more. Like, maybe we're curious about what it means to follow Jesus. Maybe we're not sure how to bring it up. And honestly, we're afraid that even asking somebody will make it weird. Or it could be that we're not sure what we think. We don't even know our own thoughts. We don't know even, because the topic can be complicated sometimes. And even if we believe in God or we think we understand him, we're not positive that we have it all figured out. I mean, there's just so much to the Bible and God and everything in that space. And we don't want to look like we don't know what we're talking about,
It's
right?
true.
So often we treat God like a math problem. We think that we have to know all the details. We need to know every side of the equation in order to get the right answer. And it's only until those details that we all get that we don't want to talk about it. It's not until we have all the answers and everything, then we feel comfortable talking about it.
It's true.
But instead of doing that, we just decide to say nothing.
Yes, all of those things are absolutely real. And those are feelings that even us as young men becoming adults, we feel those things sometimes. But what if I told you, again, that all of those reasons shouldn't stop us or cause us to be afraid of talking about God? In fact, if you aren't sure what to think about God, one of the best ways to know him better is to talk about him with other people. It's actually going to help us so much. With all of these things, with all these areas, if we want to grow in those areas, it's all the more reason why we should talk about God.
That's true. Now, wait, so if this totally freaks you out, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
It can be a scary thing,
It definitely
right?
can, yeah.
But let's think about it this way, okay? When you talk about God, okay, you don't have to talk about what you know necessarily. You can talk about who you know. It's about talking about who God is and the amazing things that he's done. right? In fact, that's actually what helped the church get started. The early church was started by a handful of people who were passionate about one person, and that was Jesus. And he was fully human and fully God. Early believers couldn't necessarily answer every single question they had about Jesus, but that didn't let them stop them.
Right.
They were so excited about who they'd experienced in knowing Jesus that they wanted others to be excited too. So that they talked about him a lot. And even when they didn't know all the details, they still talked about him.
Wow. And that's right. And we actually have record of some of those things they said right in the Bible. The book of Acts gives us an amazing picture of what this looked like. Two of Jesus' closest friends and followers, the names were Peter and John, told everyone about Jesus. In fact, they traveled around the world talking to people about Jesus. How cool is that, bro?
I mean, that's pretty cool if you ask me.
Yeah. And while this was going on, a few religious leaders noticed something. Let's take a look. You ready? We're going to read. You ready?
We're going to read. I'm down.
All right, let's do it. When they saw the courage of Peter and John and realized that they were unschooled, ordinary men, they were astonished. And they took note that these men had been with Jesus. Acts chapter 4, verse 13. I mean, how cool is that, bro?
Wow, that's actually pretty interesting. I can't even lie. You know, the passage, it tells us that the people noticed that Peter and John were uneducated, right? It was obvious. But what they did notice was that they were with Jesus. And that's great news for us, because the goal about talking about Jesus isn't to have all the answers or to have a strict guideline on what to talk about and what to say, but all we need to know is who Jesus is,
right,
and his character, right? And that, just like Peter and John, they knew Jesus. They experienced him. They were with him. And that's what they talked about. And that's what left the people so amazed. The more Peter and John talked about Jesus, the more everyone around them not only realized they knew what they were talking about, but who they were talking about, right?
Absolutely, dude. And that's what it's all about, right? They knew God. And because of how Peter and John talked about God, talked about Jesus, who is God, many of the people around them wanted to know God too.
And here's the cool part.
Okay,
the exact same thing is true for us today. This is not just something that's applicable for the times of the Bible, but something for us today. We may not know all the answers, and we don't. Let's be real. We don't know all the answers, but we can know God up close and personally. And Jesus made that possible for us. We can talk about him and the things that we've experienced, the things that God has done in our lives. We can share about the hope to learn about him as we grow in our faith. And we can talk about him, not just so other people will know him, but so that we'll know him better too. Because talking about God helps us know him better.
Wow, that is so cool. Talking about God helps us know him better. Wow.
So the more we share our thoughts, experience, and even questions, the questions that we don't have the answers to about God with other people, the more we'll be challenged to keep talking, to keep growing, and to keep getting to know God ourselves. We'll make sharing about God and learning more about him part of our everyday faith, just part of our daily lives. And it'll become
a habit.
A habit.
Oh, there it
is.
is.
You finished my sentence. And that's important because talking about God
helps us know him
There you
better.
go, there
Yeah,
you go.
dude, that's awesome. And that is so true, guys. Honestly, even in my own life, I find that the more I talk about God, the more I learn about him and fall in love with him, right? And that's what it's all about. But here's the question, okay? This is the question. How do we do it, Tristan? How do we do it? How can we make talking about God a part of our everyday faith?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I can't even lie. And that's probably a question you guys are wondering too. Like, yeah, we can talk about it, but how do we go about it? So, well, the first thing we can remember is that we don't need to know everything to talk about God. We've said this many times, but we really want you guys to remember, you don't need to know everything. The Bible, there's so many books, there's so many characters, so many stories. You don't need to know everything to talk about God. Right?
Okay.
When I was a kid, I liked dinosaurs, but I didn't know everything about dinosaurs.
That's right. Wow.
I like this dinosaur, this one had a long neck, but it doesn't matter. I didn't need to know everything. All we need is to share what we know about him from having a relationship with him.
Yeah, that's right. And we understand that for some of us, maybe even a lot of us, this isn't easy, right? If you're not so sure about all this God stuff, talking about how you've known or experienced him may not feel like something you can do. And that's okay. Our encouragement would be to start talking about what you're not sure about. Don't be afraid to ask questions for the purpose of getting to know God. That's what he wants. He wants us to ask those questions. If you aren't sure that God made the world, talk to someone about it. If you're not sure that Jesus forgives us or how he forgives us, talk to someone about that too.
Exactly, yep.
If you're not sure that God can comfort you when bad things happen, talk to someone about that. And share the questions you have with your parents, or with a friend, it's really as simple as starting a conversation about God and seeing what happens. After all, you don't need to know everything to talk about something, right? You can ask questions.
Exactly. Ask questions. I love that. And another thing that we can learn from Peter and John, our friends Peter and John, is that we can talk about God by sharing what he's done in our lives. There's so many amazing things that God's done in our lives, even challenges that we faced in our lives. And what I love most about today's story is when Peter and John talked about Jesus, people recognized immediately that they'd been with him, right? These guys may not have been able to answer everyone's questions, but they could talk about what they've experienced. They could tell stories on how much Jesus has changed and impacted their lives. And you can too. You guys at home sitting, watching on your computers, you guys can do this too. You can talk about how Jesus impacted or moved or done things in your life. And when you talk about Jesus, talk about what's happened in your own life. If you've seen him answer a prayer in your life, you can share that. If you've seen him change your attitude towards a friend or a sibling or a family member or a parent or whoever, you can talk about that and the things that God has done to change your heart, to change your attitude. If you've ever seen him do something amazing in your life, or the life of someone you know, tell it. It could be as big as a miracle. It could be something small. Like just the things that God has done in your life, you can talk about it. Tell your stories and tell people and your friends, your strangers, people at school, whoever, tell them about the experiences and make sure you focus on who God is to you.
And here's another amazing thing. Peter and John kept talking about God. They kept going, you're right. And thousands of people's lives were changed because of it. In fact, they eventually both wrote all about it, and those stories have been around for more than 2,000 years. They're actually right in our Bibles.
That's true.
They've helped millions upon millions of people know God better simply by talking and writing about him. That's pretty cool, huh?
That's true. They talked about their stories, their experiences, and literally millions of people are reading about their stories and getting to
billions
know God.
of people.
Trillions maybe. Yeah, who knows? But let's remember the big point for today, right? And we've said it a lot of times, so you guys probably already know. But talking about God helps us and the people around us know him better. Exactly. And when we make talking about God a habit, remember habits, that's the whole thing here.
Right.
It's a habit. Make it a habit. Getting to know him better becomes part of our everyday faith. And as we close off today, think about these things. Do you have any questions about God? Do you want to know more about him? Do you have an experience with him? And after this video ends, I mean, I can't believe we're almost done. And it's been nice being here.
It's been so fun, man. Having this Egyptian takeover edition.
Yeah, I might have to come back 100 legs, guys. After this video ends, wherever you're at with your walk with God, talk to your parent about God and see how that conversation goes. All right, guys? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you for having me, Anthony. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome anytime.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope you guys have a great week.
Have a great week, guys.